Hi, I'm Sean Clark. Today I'm standing in front of the house from The Exorcist. Welcome to Horror's Holograms.
1, 2, 3, 4! I don't care what you say upon your own time. It's not my problem. Treating like a ticket doesn't mean a fucking thing to me. Take your reasons and talk all night. Alright. Never cared what you said, deaf, dumb, and blind. Money and your attitude of gossip and your gratitude. And yeah, you're not my problem. I've got my problem. Go away, go away.
First off, I will not be going to Iraq. Not a chance in hell. But we will start in Georgetown, Maryland, and Georgetown University.
All right, hustle background and action. Hasn't there been enough killing? Is this your campus? Is it the best apartment on this campus? It's our school. You have no rights. Hypocrite! No military complex. And action, Chris. I've seen enough killing in my lifetime. There's no need for it.
We're all concerned with human rights, for God's sakes. But the kids who want to get an education have a right
We then see Father Karras walking on the concrete sidewalk, stopping to look at the filming. He then turns onto the stone walkway, heading towards the staircase we later see Chris MacNeil walking down, and away from Healy Hall. Now this is the staircase heading back towards where we just saw him walking from. You can see this is such a beautiful university. The building's magnificent. So we're now walking in the opposite direction. We just saw Father Karras walking from, and we're heading towards Healy Hall, where we just saw Chris MacNeil standing on this staircase with the bullhorn. And we're going to head inside this building right now. Fortunately, it was open that day. I don't know if it's always open to the public. We see Father Karras coming down this hallway and then turning, heading towards the staircase and upstairs. This really is an amazing building. I mean, look how beautiful the windows are, the stained glass, and the lighting there normally is even more theatrical than in the film. Now, the office he goes in here, as well as the boardroom you see here, I believe are on the other side of these doors straight ahead and the ones to the left. Unfortunately, I was unable to get in there that day, but I'm pretty sure just through there would be that room. Unfortunately, you can't see through those windows. They have like a powder glass. Now we are at the chapel, which is in the courtyard, just kind of behind those offices at the university. Unfortunately, there was this big tent outside there. It was messing up some of the shots, but we'll still deal with it. I'll follow the priest here as he goes past the front of the church and around the left side. He walks over here and heads towards the back door. It's kind of the rear of the church, but it's also maybe towards the center a bit. As you can see, he comes in that door right there. I guess it'd be the center of the church. Okay. But heading towards the rear. He walks over here, gets to the center of the room, kneels down, as you do. You know, respect, JC. Heads over to this corner where he puts down the flowers, right over there by that pole. Then he turns, walks this way, sees the desecrated statue, which would have been in that corner to the right over there, but I was told this was shot on a set. I'm not sure if that's true, but it would have been in that corner right there. As you can see, this is the altar. With the exception of some of the colors, it's pretty much exactly the same. A little bit of woodwork difference at the top. The crust is crisp.
We're now at Yates Field House. There's a field built on top of this building. This is why the field is elevated now and doesn't match up perfectly with that dome in the background. You'll see what I mean when we get over here. A lot of stairs. So much stairs in The Exorcist. Like I said before, this field has been elevated. That's why that dome in the background no longer matches up. But right over here, to the left, is where Father Karras would have stopped and spoke to Detective Kinderman. But as you can see, those bleachers are gone. Looks nothing like it did back in the film.
Not to mention it would be a story below.
Over in that area. Then cuts to them walking along this area. Some new buildings here, but you can see the steeples poking up in the background, and you can see the field. It then cuts to them walking back in this area. This has completely been redeveloped, new buildings, but back here, where these buildings stand, used to be the tennis courts. And they were walking by the tennis courts in another scene. So Father Karras and Detective Kinderman walk in this direction. Kinderman stops and leans against this railing, and they have a discussion.
Father Karras turns and starts to walk away in this direction. Kinderman follows. And they head back in front of the chapel and walk past the front door, heading in this direction. A lot of jibber jabber. And they head over here and they stop right by the staircase. Have a discussion, and then Father Karras turns and heads inside the building. And that's when Kinderman tells him he lied. That he actually looks like Sal Mineo. So now we see Chris McNeil leaving Georgetown University. She heads down this staircase and decides she's going to walk home, which isn't really too far in reality. The camera follows her along this way and across this street, heading down this street here. But then it cuts to another area in town, not too far away.
Chris McNeil walks down the street here and turns here and heads down this way, walking past all of these houses, like so.
It then cuts to another part of town where she's walking past this church, a different church, and she looks through this gate here, the gate was open at the time, and she sees Father Karras talking to another priest. She peeks around this corner here. Looks exactly like it did back in the day. And she stares at him standing right there, and then walks away curiously. So now we're going to leave Maryland for a little bit and head to New York City. Now finding this exact spot was not easy. It has changed a great deal. So much has been added to this subway station, and finding this area was so hard. If it wasn't for a guy that worked there, that actually walked me to this spot, I don't think I could have found it. It's like a maze there. Anyway, this is where Father Karras goes to visit his mother. He turns around here and sees the beggar on the ground who would have been sitting roughly right about there, asking him for some change, letting him know he's Catholic, trying to grease the wheels, if you will. Now we're going to leave the station and head to Father Karras' mother's apartment.
You can see Damien comes from across the street over here, crosses the street in this area over here. He passes in front of this pole here with the school sign. That pole right there. All these buildings have completely changed. They all have entrances. They've remodeled it. It's completely different now. This entrance is still here, but all the other entrances on this part of the building have been remodeled and are gone. The main entrance to Damien's mother's apartment used to be right here. I'll show you the spot in just a second. Pretty much right here. This was the entrance to Damien's mother's apartment, but completely remodeled and gone. One thing about this, I noticed people that did their Exorcist videos, everybody goes Georgetown. Nobody comes here to NYC.
Where's the love?
The lower parts of these buildings have completely been remodeled. See this whole section here? This whole section, they took out all the entrances. All the little stoops have been removed, including the one that led to Damien Karras' mother's apartment, which would have been up here. I wonder if those stairs are even inside her anymore, but her apartment would have been up there somewhere. But right here, this was the entrance. Right where that air conditioner is. This was the entrance to Damien Karras' mother's apartment. Right here. Why, Demi? Why'd you remodel, Demi? I found Damien's mom. Demi,
Oh my God,
Demi,
she's
why?
proud.
Why, Demi? Why? Why you no let me cross the street? Why you filming me, Demi?
Why you did this to me, Demi?
The subway station that you see Damien's mother come out of is just around the corner from this location, which is the Williamsburg Bridge. It has changed a great deal, as you can see from this old photo from back in the day. But this is the spot where he was standing, waving his arms, trying to get her attention during his nightmare. And then she heads back down into the same subway station, never to be seen again. This next scene, where Father Karras goes to visit his mother in the hospital, was shot at Goldwater Memorial Hospital on Roosevelt Island. It closed its doors on December 31st, 2013, and demolition began in 2014. Today, it's the current location of Cornell Tech. And as you can see here, parts of it going away, completely gone away, Cornell Tech starting to be built, and boom, all new.
Unfortunately, the tombs, or the bar scenes from Exorcist 1 and 3, they were shot inside here, but unfortunately it is closed. It's been closed for a year and a half since COVID, and it opens next month. In fact, they're doing a job fair right now next door, and I was hoping that during this job fair I would have been able to get in, but unfortunately it's a no-go. I'll have to come back and see it another time.
So it was worth the wait. I went back a year later and got to go in the tombs, and this is where Father Karras goes to meet with Father Tom and sit down and discuss the goings-on with the McNeil kid. Seems like, they have a screw loose. Right over in that area right there is where they were seated. Right about there. Changed a lot in 40 plus years.
This location is only for the hardcore fans. This is where the sign for the Behringer Institute was, right here. This is in New Jersey. You gotta go out of your way for this stuff. And that's what I do for you peeps. Horizontal grounds.
Much like the Exorcist stairs, this bridge is also very popular. This is where Father Karras meets Miss McNeil. Just up here. Walks up right here.
Chris McNeil.
Please go away.
And then she turns around in this way.
I'm very sorry. Hello.
They then walk down the stairs that used to be right here. There used to be a pair of stairs right here. And then I believe it cuts to back across the bridge over there.
Pretty close?
Pretty close.
And there it is. Boom.
I think I've lost my faith, Tom.
So the attic was added, as was the part of the house that's obscured by the trees right there. That was an addition they added for the film. Go take a look and you'll see that the house ends by the front door. That's where they built the extension. Built the extension right there, which went over this way. Car pulls in there, and then up to the front door. When they get out of the car, you can see the street from their driveway. He then walks up and talks to her as she gets in the car.
That images.
Waves goodbye. Car pulls out, starts to head in this direction. Or then runs over here where she stops and gives him the medallion.
I thought you'd like to keep this.
And the priest stands here and watches them drive away. You know what's amazing about this location is the amount of tourism it gets. I mean, me standing here filming this, I've seen so many people come take pictures. This guy behind me setting up a camera shot for himself. It's pretty amazing. You ever seen this before?
I remember the movie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, did he? Come on, step over here. Man, that movie gave me heartbreak. Boy.
Seen the movie? Never
You haven't seen it? Oh my goodness.
That's a good one.
The book was enough.
See the movie. It's okay.
And the way it is in the movie, it's like hours all the way back.
Oh, really?
After Father Karras falls and hits the bottom of the stairs, you see a group of people come running from this gas station that was right here. See the stairs right there.
Push it! All right, get back!
Do you want to make a confession?
Captain Howdy.
They pull me over again. Gather heat, they sweat me. Can't get a mile in this town. Got the boss not taking me down. What kind of question is that? Shit, I got place to be. Where's the drug? Yeah, fuck you, pig. I said, search on around the next day. Back off, man. I got a ride. Yeah, the road is calls me.
So people have been wondering, Sean, how do we get merch? How do we get t-shirts? How do we get Horrors Hollow Ground stuff? How do we get Thing with Two Heads stuff? How do we get blankets? You want a onesie for a baby. Some people might even want Hollywood's Hollow Ground stuff. The collection with Sean Clark, nobody wants to wear that as a shirt. Anything that they'll slap the logos on, you want to be able to get it, right? So if you go to tpublic.com/user/malfunction, I think that's it. Yeah, tpublic.com/user/malfunction. You want shirts, you want hoodies, you want things like that because you dig it. tpublic.com/user/malfunction. We appreciate you guys. Thank you for supporting the show. Thank you for supporting the channel. The more we grow this thing, the more content we can bring, the more stuff we can share with you guys. That's what it's all about, man. Being a community, like-minded people into the same shit. Rock and roll.